Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Kids in the Corner. Put your dunce hat on because we got a real dumbass in here with us today. We've got the wonderful and talented actor, director, improv student, stand-up comedian, door guy, tech guy. Maybe one day Amy will let him do a bar shift so he can make a little money or something. Who knows?
That. Shout out Amy.
He also maybe does music videos. I don't know, but his name's David Culotta, everybody, my good friend. He's
up,
joining us on the
guys?
podcast today. Cameron's here as well. He's just not in frame.
Oh, he's shaking. He shook his
Now,
head.
I will say we did start this podcast even though we had prior plans of doing something else, but I think there's a way to work around that. We'll be okay. We're here all night.
We're here all night, baby.
We're here all night, and we're going to talk to David. David has, as you heard, is a director, and I said director and writer, but that doesn't really cover the spectrum of a man that's made, 2 feature films and a short?
I've made 2 feature films, 2 45-minute films, 1 27-minute TV pilot, and 2 15-minute shorts.
And what was your made-for-TV pilot?
And 1 music video. Working on another one.
What was your pilot? What was the show?
It was called Freddie Clark's Existential Crisis, and I would love to continue it. I have so many ideas for it. I'm very passionate about it, but it is something that I want to move on from artistically, so I put it on the shelf because it would be a whole universe. I have so much planned for it, but that's not in the cards right now. I want to revisit it, but right now I've got to make money first before I can do anything else with it.
Yeah, I've got a couple things like that they're just on standby until I have the money to do it myself.
Yeah.
But
that. Well, that of having money and having the ability to produce it to be what I would want it to be, yes. But also it just became this thing to where it just ballooned, and it was well, I have this huge idea for scope for it of it becoming this video game where you interact with AI characters and pulling off this thing to where it's also an immersive experience that you can go and it just became this whole thing that it's I could work on that for a century, or I could be all right, and now I just made a documentary feature film, and that's a presentable thing that I can be go look at that, versus this whole theoretical thing of oh, it's the cinematic universe that also uses real world tie-ins and it's an alternate reality game, blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's great, and but also
you could inflate any idea to infinity.
Exactly.
If you wanted to.
Exactly. And it's really cool, and I love talking about it, and I talk people's ears off about it all the time. But right now I'm working on the book, and I'm finishing the book, and then we'll move on creatively to other projects from there. But,
okay, well, let's talk about the book. What's this book that you're writing? Is it a secret or anything?
No, it's not a secret. I mean, I haven't really publicized it very much because I was waiting until I'm waiting until it's done really to talk about it, but I don't mind talking about it. It's called I'm Not Crazy, parentheses, anymore, written by David Culotta, and illustrated by Kate Landry. And it's a book of poetry, prose, photographs. Wait, let me read the official. It's a kind of book of sort of poetry.
That's the perfect logline for it.
Yeah.
A kind of book, a sort of poetry.
Yeah.
That's good.
And it's
I would keep that on my coffee table.
Sounds like one of those children's books that they're
It
trying to get
kinda
banned
is.
in Florida.
It has comic book spreads in it, and it has screenplay excerpts from it. And
Any
it has,
cheek spreads?
I'm sorry?
Hmm?
No.
So,
That's in the expanded edition.
is there an expanded edition?
No,
Hey,
I'm not doing
it's
that.
got a centerfold.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But it's 120 pages, and it is. I don't know of anything like it, but also I don't read enough. So
Hey,
think Leaves of Grass, not Leaves of Grass. House of Leaves, but also Leaves of Grass. Yeah, House of Leaves meets Leaves of Grass. House of
Ooh.
Leaves of Grass. Yeah.
I will put that on my Amazon review of your book.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I'm gonna write that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, plants. Get some plants.
Get some plants from these leaves.
Yeah. I need to figure out.
That's why it was called Leaves of Grass, because whoever wrote that was an industry plant.
No, Walt Whitman fucking rules.
Dude,
Walt Whitman rules.
David is an industry plant.
Yeah, I
Low
am.
key.
From the industry of evil.
If Tammy's the industry, she's definitely planted him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what she sent him up. She said, "Go see what Crockett and Cam are up to with that fucking podcast."
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Fucking
Sending her sending her no limit soldier David Culotta.
Yeah, I came here to talk about the benefits of Comedy House New Orleans.
Right on.
No, I did not.
Well, they are hiring.
There are benefits. Well, yeah, they are hiring actually. Cam here is going back to work for Netflix. So, yeah, hell yeah, dude.
He's
So
re-enlisting.
we need to replace him.
Literally, I
Quick.
was getting paid to play cornhole all day.
Yeah.
I was getting paid to stand in a tent and play cornhole all day. And then
Is that what y'all do in y'all's free time anyways, or do they just portray y'all playing cornhole all the time in the show?
We don't play cornhole at all in the show. They might write it into the script now because we play it so much.
That's hilarious.
But literally 2 weeks into the show, it's 40 dudes hanging out in a tent all day waiting to be put up in a scene. You got some free time.
That's awesome.
There's 40 of us. They don't need all of us at once. Some days you'll work for an hour, and then the rest is you're just in the tent being present, fucking
just
doing
in case.
whatever.
You sit around and wait.
People play Skyrim in there.
Sit around and
People
hurry up,
fucking-
wait.
Do they at least call you by your name?
Hurry up and sit down.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah.
Hurry up
Yeah.
and wait. That's what it is.
Number 47. We need you in the background,
Dude,
stage left.
I would hate that,
What?
dude. I mean, it would basically. It already feels like Squid Game enough in there.
I was about to say that's how they had to have done Squid Game.
Yeah, and all of us are shaved and wearing the exact same outfit.
Jesus.
It's crazy.
That
It's
is
like
crazy.
it's like a little mind fuck when you go in there.
They should pay
Yeah.
for y'all to get like a Brazilian wax. How shaved are y'all?
Oh, I'm full bush.
Oh, full bush.
The show
shaved
is set
on
in
top.
1989,
So
so full bush.
Yeah.
Nothing less.
nothing less, he says.
I grew
Anything
my
less
pubes
than
out
the
for a year to be on this
Best
show.
is a felony.
That's wild. That's wild. It's a felony. I'm sorry. What?
It's a Vanilla Ice lyric.
That's a felony.
Anything best in the or anything less than the best is a felony.
Yeah.
Love it. Don't leave it.
Yeah. Vanilla Ice be like, yeah. Ice says baby.
Vanilla Ice be like, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up,
Vanilla
ma?
Ice be like, I also like Neapolitan.
Vanilla Ice be like, put
Mint
some
chocolate chip.
put some
Not
sprinkles
bad.
on that bitch. Put some sprinkles on that
Personally,
bitch.
I like the magic shell that hardens like 30 seconds after you pour it on there.
Ooh, man,
Crazy.
I like
That's
hanging
one
out
of the
with
world's
Arsenio,
greatest
man.
inventions
I wanna
of
pour-
all time.
Dude, imagine pouring that over a butt.
That's
A bouncy butt.
Have you ever seen the video of Vanilla Ice freaking out on Arsenio Hall?
I think I've heard of that, but I've never seen the video.
Pull it up, Jamie.
Pull it up.
Let's see. I guess I'm Jamie.
Can I hear?
Wow.
How you feeling this time? Better?
Yeah, no, this is good. We're chilling. I'm chilling.
Fucking right.
Let's see here. We've got
I want to see this clip and then talk about it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'll watch a clip. Oh, you got a clip? Yeah. I'm a clip guy. Personally.
Bro, he looks like a space pirate.
He does.
I feel like he's gonna put a gun in my face and be like, "Give me your Calaxian crystals."
Yeah, right. A laser blaster.
brings out Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav. Dude, Flavor Flav looks like a crusty white dog.
Oh, what?
He reminds me of like a crusty old white dog. With like
Muhammad Ali's
'Cause he's still doing
grandson fights. He's an MMA fighter, and Flavor Flav is his godfather and was in the crowd. It was just like a weird, like such a cross
double S.
world. Like Muhammad Ali's grandson is fighting in the MMA, and his godfather that's in the crowd is fucking Flava Flav. He's old as shit, wearing the fucking clock.
Fuck yeah.
He looks like somebody's uncle. Like back in my day,
Those fights are going on right now?
not right now. No.
No. Like recently though?
Yeah, I saw him a couple months ago fight. It wasn't in the UFC, but
We're gonna cut this around.
Okay.
and if you don't vote for me, you're not black.
That's impossible.
But that's impossible. What are you even talking about, man? That's impossible. He's 5 years older than me.
That's impossible.
Hey, where you from, man? It's where you at.
It's where you at, dude. Be where your feet are.
And the white women go wild. He looked into the camera for a little second there.
This is just Matt Rife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all
Every
this is.
I actually touched on this earlier in the podcast. Every generation has a Matt Rife. And maybe it's not always in comedy. You're going to see Matt Rifes. Once you notice there's not just one Matt Rife. Like it's Dane Cooks and fucking
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
Who else could it be?
Dude, Pete Davidson's not Pete Davidson.
Nah,
We
he's more
rapped
of like
Vanilla Ice and then it rapped back to Pete Davidson, but he
Zac
doesn't count.
Efron?
I think it's more. There's
I'm-
only one Matt Rife every generation, you know.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
that's their generation's Matt Rife. Someone who's like famous because they're hot, but ultimately they're just irredeemably corny.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm talking like white guy wants to, kind of puts on a bit of a black
Put
scent.
on a little bit. That's
And-
the thing.
and,
Justin Bieber used to do that.
Yeah.
Tries to use references from that culture to come across as appealing very often.
I think Jack Harlow doesn't quite fit that category.
Nah, because he's like real genuinely him, and it's so different than that. Love you, Jack.
Jack.
We're gonna get Jack on the pod.
We're going to have Jack
have
on
our
the
boy
Jack,
Jack
if you're
coming.
watching this, you seem cool.
He's got a busy schedule right now, but
No, I'd
yeah, we're gonna
imagine
get
so,
Jack on.
Yeah, he definitely was just like grilling him for the interview, kind of.
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice handled it well. It was just a little uncomfortable.
I want to go.
That's
plug my phone
all.
Yeah. What do you think about
When Vanilla Ice first came about, everything you know.
What is this?
Yeah. It's very difficult
just-
for me to focus on two things at once. Right now, I mean.
Yeah, I was about to say, once Cam gets back from the bathroom, we'll start up again.
Word.
Yeah. No, that's a.
Is that good?
That's fucking awesome.
We're back from watching Arsenio grill Vanilla Ice. It wasn't quite as good as I made it out to be.
No, it's still good.
I think I saw that on Facebook one time, and I liked listening to it because he just made it uncomfortable
Dude,
the whole time.
the sweat was beating on his face.
It really
Yeah,
He
I was
really,
about to
like-
say.
it
Well,
really
he was
was.
handling it
But-
pretty fast, dude. He made
Yeah.
sure. I mean, Vanilla Ice just like he had a rag
Yeah.
for
he
his
dabbed
sweat on fucking
sweat.
standby.
That was classy, though.
It was.
David, I want to ask you if you've heard of one electron theory.
No, I haven't. I've heard of the number one, I've heard of electrons, and I've heard of theories, but I don't think I've heard of all three at the same time.
So I'm not like a math genius or anything, so I don't know how valid this is, but there's a theory that we don't know why every electron that we can measure has the same exact mass. Like it's measurable. The mass of an electron is constant throughout the universe, as far as we can tell. The only one explanation proposed for this is that there's one electron and it's matched with an anti-electron, and that it's the same electron going through time, reaching the end, and then looping back infinitely. So when it's traveling in reverse, it's antimatter, and when it's traveling forward through time, it's matter. but it's only one electron doing that in the entire universe, making up pretty much everything that there is. And protons and neutrons and other things are just much more rare blips that like change things around. And that's one theory that like everything, when you say like everything is everything, like it's just one proton experiencing being like a rock in a mountain forever, and then being like a part of a person for a few hundred years, and then being a plant,
Yeah.
and then being air for a little while.
I took a class on the history of transcendental idealism, and I never took a full metaphysics class, but I took multiple classes where we talked about metaphysics. We talked about different theories on like essentially different ways of saying that the universe was just an idea. And sometimes there were some philosophers that we studied that were like, the universe is like a collective thing from our collective consciousness. And some of them would be like, no. And this is, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Mm-hmm. The guy that came up with that, Bishop George Berkeley, that was an argument in favor of like, no, it doesn't.
Damn.
He said, no, it doesn't. Because he was like, if truly no one is listening, then it doesn't. But the only way for it to be truly no one is that God also is not listening. But God is always listening. So therefore, even if no person is around to hear it, then it always makes a sound. But if God were not around to see it or was not looking, then it wouldn't make a sound.
I like what that metaphor makes God. It just makes it like it really includes like omnipotence.
Yeah.
You fuck with Plato?
Every now and again.
I like the idea of like the Platonic forms and shit like that.
Yeah.
At the world of forms, there's a tree that is the most tree a tree can be, and there's a beer can that is the most beer can that a beer can be.
That a beer can.
That a beer can
the most
can.
beer can that a beer can be.
And that's what Plato is basically.
You know, one of my favorite philosophers said, we're going to build a wall and we're going to make them pay for it.
God. I knew it was going somewhere.
Rocket moment. We gotta make that a sound.
Well, the only Pluto I know is from the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
I know Plato is just fun to play with.
Oh,
Not
I said,
to
I
eat.
said, and I said Pluto and not Plato.
Yeah. Orf.
And I also know Pluto, shout out Hendrix, a.k.a. Future. And shout out
AKA
Baby
Future.
Pluto,
Baby
a.k.a.
Pluto.
Lil Uzi Vert, a.k.a. What else does he go by now? What's the guy's name from the fucking Hangover?
Oh, Snoop Lion.
No.
Zach Galifianakis. Ken Jeong.
Chow's, his name, Leslie Chow. So one of his identities, his gender identities, Lil Uzi Vert, is Leslie Chow.
Oh.
That's cool.
I don't know if you've ever seen him do his his video of it where he styles himself up and he's Leslie.
Yeah, he does drag.
Yeah, he goes by Leslie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Interesting.
Lil Uzi Vert's a little like gremlin. I feel like Lil Uzi Vert could play. Who's that? What's that character's name?
he
Mr.
very well
Mr.
could be
Mixtelplick?
of
Mr.
Satan.
Mixtelplick? Yeah.
That's just what he acts like, is like just some like
I mean, his whole persona is like DMTL.
master of
Their
chaos.
whole persona. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just master of chaos, utter like just embracing the weirdness and goth of fucking life.
That's
Dude,
why I
imagine
love their
Lil,
music.
Lil Nas X as Mr. Mixtelplick.
XXX Tentacion is Mr. Mixtelplick.
Isn't he dead?
He is dead.
I got static in my
I re-
city.
He's one of the
dude.
few celebrities that I remember where I was when I found out he died.
I remember being in, it was like multimedia class or
One
something.
room to another against their will.
So if I say go...
From one
if I
room?
say-
Yes, like if you
That-
transfer them out of the dwelling that they're in
dwelling.
against their will.
I mean,
it's
that makes
kidnap-
sense for, like,
if
a
you,
month.
they,
don't
you can
pack
be
into the
charged
bathroom
with kid.
right
Now,
in the
obviously,
next
when you
90
got to
seconds,
court,
I'm going to shit myself and go just put it all over this room.
Okay.
I'm gonna kidnap. Is that kidnapping? If I force you, would that force you?
No, you would have to like take me.
No,
like take.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
'Cause,
was
I mean, you
wondering
could
if it
smear
was,
shit
like,
all over these walls and I would still be
psychologically
sitting here.
forcing
You could
and
do
then
that.
was
Like you
my-
could tie me up. You could put me at gunpoint. Gunpoint would probably be a little bit easier because I don't think I'm.
I'll cast a spell on you.
I don't know if I would make the move for the gun.
Yeah.
And if you tie me up, you're not going to be able to handle me because
Oh,
I'm
I'm
just
not
so
gonna-
much larger. Than
Yeah, he's a
you.
wiggler.
Oh yeah.
I've tied him up before.
But you'll never out crazy me. That's
Well,
for
I'm
sure.
not going to like resist or anything. I'm just saying like. I'm just saying, like, if you had to, like if you hog tied me and had to pick me up, that'd be really hard for you to do.
Yeah.
I weigh
I would-
230.
Even if
I
he's
would
just dead
agree.
weight, like especially if it's dead weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if it's, you're gonna have to quarter me up at least quarter.
And dude, don't even think about getting rid of the body.
The head's gonna need its own bag. This thing is fucking heavy. You might want to give it to a scientist so he can study my brain.
That'd be good. We'd learn a lot.
Actually,
we?
if I died young,
We
I think
would.
I would
We
want a
would.
bit of an autopsy just to get my family answers to see if I had any cancers. Like only I would want to know that, really.
But you wouldn't know it because your brain is being dissected.
Yeah, but
for
like let's
science.
say I died in a parachuting accident, God forbid, and he will because I'm not going parachuting anytime.
But then you are gonna end up in like a really shitty parachuting situation.
Yeah.
I feel like there's not much to autopsy if you get in a bad parachuting accident, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Not a lot left. I mean, honestly, the worst parachuting accident is the one that you barely survive.
yeah.
Dude, can you imagine fucking hitting the dirt
Well,
after
you know, you can
falling from
actually
thousands
skydive.
of feet?
You can skydive without a parachute. You can just only do it once.
You know how shitty it feels just like falling on the ground now as is? You fall from thousands of feet up the whole time you've had to think about it. Like, God damn it.
parachute.
Dude, you ever skin your knee on the fucking sidewalk, dude?
That's enough time to like create a theory of how you've got like vacuumed in, like drawn in to do this thing of jumping out of an airplane.
Enough time to think about it? Oh my god. I saw a fucking...
The worst parachuting accident is the one you barely survive. I'm sorry. That's just so good.
That's good, right?
It's really good.
Yeah. I saw a video of a lady the other day. She actually did survive. Like her parachute never deployed, and she survived.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes you can aim for trees.
Yeah, she
Tree
like
branches will break your fall, but you're going to break a couple ribs on the way down for sure.
she like crashed into a barn with hay in it, and
Ooh, that's a good one.
like classic like
Hay is
Adam
pretty
Sandler
solid.
movie or some shit
Hay
like
is
that.
pretty damn solid.
It just, yeah, it is, but it,
Maybe you
it
have
would
like a bunch
cushion,
of stacks of hay.
It would cushion your blow
Bales?
pretty well, I would say.
Bales of hay?
yeah, you'd have to
it's-
land on it just right.
It's definitely
Otherwise,
it's
you're
got
just a skeleton.
way
lodged
less
between
give than the earth.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to pick between a roof and some hay bales, you're taking the roof and some hay bales.
Yeah, and it could be like how that hay was stored is totally dependent. Like sometimes people like they go ahead and rip the bales out. Some of them got like a big pile going on. You know, not everybody has really good bale maintenance.
Oh my god, dude!
That's-
Imagine
I've
Some
been
people got a
saying
real
that. I've been
fucking-
saying that.
imagine a skydiver.
Slop fest.
Yeah.
Their parachute doesn't open. They fall directly into a grain silo. Have you seen grain silo sinkings?
Yeah,
I
that's scary.
I've seen a paper mill.
I've
Was it
watched.
scary?
Not. It was the one of the cool. It was like we were on a Boy Scout trip and we snuck through.
Here,
the woods.
boys, check out this paper.
We like crossed this whole river like on. We were not allowed to, but we like crafted a boat and we got across this flooded valley. That had become a river. It was not a river the last time we visited this campsite. And then we went across, and then we found in the distance a paper mill, and then we went up to it, and then we like looked at it. Was like abandoned, or it was not abandoned, but there was nobody around. Like it was like actively running, and the smell of a paper mill, like that whole shit, it was like the most stand by me experience
It's
I had.
horrible.
Where were y'all at?
It's got to be foul.
It was like a Civil War grave site. That
So
also,
y'all were
or it was like
probably-
right by there. So the camping
Around
trip
here?
was called Night of the Frozen Dead.
Was it St. Francisville?
I don't.
I think
remember.
they have an international paper mill down there, and they have they make a lot of money off of Slavery Day history. They got a lot of plantations. Home of the Myrtles Plantation, famously the most haunted plantation in the whole country, possibly even the most haunted place in the country as is, according to some people. When I went, I didn't experience anything, but I was also 8 and was more worried about Cheetos and playing with my friends than ghosts.
Yeah,
Real. You ever you believe in ghosts?
I believe that given infinity, eventually, why not?
Eventually,
Why not
someone's
ghosts?
gonna see the great beyond and then figure it out. Like you've gotta.
Even that, like, whether or not there is a great beyond, whether or not there are ghosts, like vampire. I think I met a vampire the other night, actually.
We definitely met a vampire the other
for
I
night.
was about
sure.
to say, if you're in New Orleans, you're gonna run across a couple of
Dude,
those.
we went back to the guy's house, and like
You
we
went to
were-
the vampire's house?
Yeah, we did. And we
David-
were
You
like,
went inside of his
David is
domicile?
went
such
inside
a
a vampire's
vampire
house,
victim,
dude.
dude. You're such a
Dude.
vampire. Look at him. He's such a vampire victim. That's exactly what you look like. It's a fucking 90s movie vampire victim.
Literally.
You fucking freak. Go
Dude,
ahead. I'm
what
sorry.
do you, okay. Whoa.
Unnecessary, Crockett. Foul.
Unnecessary.
Well, if you're a
Yeah,
vampire,
I
you're a
was
fucking
like,
freak,
I was
dude.
with you until you were mean. Don't be. What are you doing? I'm not a vampire.
Yellow card.
He
Just
didn't
fucking making
bite
sure,
me.
dude.
We just went into his home. He played the guitar.
He
we
just
looked
sucked
around.
you off.
As soon as we got in, and it was like immediately, like before we walked in the door, it was holy shit. Like it was a bit before, but this is the most vampire house in the fucking world. Like this
It's
is
real.
so like he had
It's
shit
so
strung
real.
up from so many different centuries. Like there were all these chalk
worse
drawings.
for
Like
you.
he had baguettes and like cheese in the kitchen. Like he had
Did you have fancy cheese?
a bow and arrow by the fireplace, or it wasn't actually fireplace.
Dude, it's all
Well,
shit
it
you
wasn't
got
like
from
firewood
the
in
fucking
there.
pawn shop.
It was like a bunch of candles that we lit instead of a fire, and just
He just
like,
had a bunch of candles.
He
inside
doesn't
of
have a fireplace.
Well, he
So you
does.
just have to
He
light
does,
a
but he has
No, he has a
candles in there.
fireplace full of candles.
Yeah, it was
That's the corniest shit in the world.
Dude, no.
It's
but
super
somehow it
vampirical,
worked.
though.
It like this whole thing, like there was so you walked in and there's like a like screened in porch type thing, and there was a mobile of like the solar system hanging, but they were really big and they were glowing, and also they were like fairy lights like strung about.
That dude fucks hard.
But we got there.
That
The
dude-
fairy
that dude
lights
fucks
were
crazy mode,
flickering
dude.
as we get there.
That dude has to fuck. In
Dude.
order to like maintain that lifestyle.
He's an attorney.
Oh.
Apparently, who is also an artist.
Oh, dude, fucks.
Oh.
Dude has money.
He's not a vampire. He's Jewish.
He's not a vampire. He's a white kid from fucking.
Hey, there's always room for two.
They're
truths.
both shapeshifters,
Yeah.
but I'm just.
Damn, Crockett.
his dad represented Harvey Weinstein, and now he just kind of gets to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Damn.
There are so many people like that in the world. Just people who are born into so much money but don't have any potential.
I'm down with the Jews, man. I'm pro America. Let's go. We're gonna duke it out with everybody.
All
What?
of America versus everybody else.
Yo, that's what it
Dude,
is
we
right
would
now.
lose.
That's what it kind of looks like right now, dude. Like
is
nobody
kinda what it
else
looks
is
like.
like fucking stepping up. Several NATO
Stepping
countries
up.
are not to take it there, but several NATO countries are like, we're out on this. Like they are,
We
and
just
we're
need-
just like the biggest force in it all.
Honduras stopped recognizing Taiwan in March of last year, and just recently they made a very special trade alliance with China.
Oh boy.
After all the money my Baptist church gave to those people in Honduras, you know, I'll say that. I'll give a fuck who they recognize when they get some running water around that motherfucker. How about that?
God damn, Crockett.
Dude,
You recognize Taiwan in my house, dude. Fuck John Cena.
Fuck yeah, dude. That shit's crazy.
Those people deserve to be free.
If you were to like roll a die and see like, oh, like which person would I be if I grew up in China? Like, your life would probably be bad. Like, it would probably be bad.
No, I mean the life of they have done a good job of fucking uplifting like most of their people out of poverty within the past like 25 to 30 years. But life would still probably be fucking bad because you've been poor peasant farmers for like the past 4 generations, and now you have internet
And there's no chicks.
and there's no one explaining shit to you,
And there's
like,
no chicks.
and there's no chicks.
There's no chicks. They're suffering because, dude, India, I watched it. So we just got back from the roast of 2023, folks. I had to do some research on the year. India actually passed up China as the most populous country in the world.
Really?
Yes.
Because they're
And the
running out of
trend is
women.
continuing because China is going down. Not because India is just like, I mean, it's just growing at its normal rate, but
Yeah.
China is starting to go down.
Yeah, their birth rates. All those. I mean, America's birth rate is going down too.
Well, it just catches up. Yeah, because I mean,
Not as fast,
don't get me started on that, dude. Don't even get me started on that. It's a lot of things that go into that. It's a lot of things, and it'd make me sound crazy. Some of the things that I think maybe points to that, but
I think Jordan Peterson was right when he said the government should issue you a mandated girlfriend.
No way, he said. Did he
that would be
actually say
sick.
that? Did he say
He
that?
someone brought up
Everyone
that idea
needs
to him, and he was
pussy.
like, "I'm for it."
Everyone needs steady pussy. That's just something that everyone needs, don't you know?
It's good for the brain.
As long as you drink raw, you drink raw elk's blood, and then you fuck your government provided girlfriend.
It's really hard, you see.
That's why I only eat.
And I'm no longer autoimmune anymore, but I do sound like Canadian Kermit the Frog.
Why, little cat.
Now, why do you think? Now, why do you think that is? Now, why do you think that is?
My whole family's very sick, but I'm going to tell you how to live your life.
The Rothschilds.
Rothschild. The world ended before we were born.
That's just
Oh,
crazy.
Lord.
His whole
World
thing is
ended
like,
before we were
my
born.
whole family's bloody sick.
Dude, the world ended the day we fucking the fucking Spaniards conquered the Aztecs. They knew their civilization was dying, and they did a spell. They did a spell on the Western world. And then the Aztecs died out, and now there's no way to reverse the counter spell because we burned all their books.
You know, I've been listening to you some, Cam. I think you give the Aztecs too much stock, dude.
Dude, I fuck with the Aztecs heavy.
I think
I love Aztec and like ancient Mesoamerican history.
I was about to say, if you're big into like the ancient aliens theory, they're definitely big players in that. Them and the Egyptians, and those are people to look out
Dude,
for.
no, that was all raw human ingenuity. My favorite thing about them is that they had no beasts of burden. They had they had llamas, and that was it. And you could put like 100 pounds on a llama max, and like there were no horses.
Yeah.
Everything was done on foot by human laborers, which is like an insane way for a society.
Against
Like,
their will.
No, I mean it seemed like most people people had it
It
pretty
was just
good.
like a community effort.
Yeah, because with archaeological efforts, you can kind of see where the wealth is, because when you dig up like treasures and shit, that's
Right.
where the wealthy people lived. And in a lot of like the early societies, obviously it gets more like concentrated around Tenochtitlan, but it's mostly like everyone was buried in equally like lavish tombs, and they were all pretty lavish. They had a thriving middle class, and it was just very like that. That's a different world to exist in.
Yeah.
And it's a thriving society. What the
Yeah.
fuck is that?
And possibly
The
advanced like human civilization too that we'll no longer be able to recreate.
oh yeah, they had a different number system. They didn't count 1 through 10. They counted 1 through 20, and they had different digits for 1 through 20.
Wow. Base
And-
60 is so cool.
Yeah, right?
Well, that's not base 60, but additionally, base 60 is really cool.
You a math guy? Talking about base 60 math?
Well, I took a over the summer course in Duke Tip
Ooh.
when I was like in 6th grade in like
We're talking
code
to a
breaking.
Duke Tip alum.
Yeah, a Duke Tip alumni. Yeah, I took a class on code breaking.
He was
and,
there
like,
on Duke's tip.
uh,
Go ahead. David Duke's tip.
So I got really into code breaking and like ciphers and shit like that.
Mhm.
And
2016 Double XL Freshman Cipher.
So when you finish that book, I think your next project should be a manifesto. Written entirely in cipher, and then you mail anthrax to certain government officials. Y'all be on the
working
lookout for
title for the book was The Documentarian's Manifesto.
Ooh.
So,
Yeah.
buy
glad you
my
changed
book. Buy my book. It's really good. It's really cool.
I'm glad you changed the title.
Yeah. And where will they be able to buy that at? On Amazon shop? Like you have an Amazon shop or something?
I'm not sure yet. Probably.
Okay.
Probably. I
When you get
finalized
the-
the book on January 2nd, and then
There will be-
I'm gonna the process doesn't matter, but it'll be out in January.
Hey,
it
why
will
don't
be
you all-
available for purchase in January.
Why don't you all follow David on Instagram? That way,
Yeah.
when the book comes out, you can see
At
it on
the
get it
real
on your feed.
Culotta.
At the real Culotta.
And also, he runs a very lucrative account right now. The Pothole Outside
The
Comedy
Pothole.
House.
Fulton Pothole.
Fulton Pothole.
The Fulton Pothole. Tell us a little bit more about the creative process behind running an Instagram that has a large pothole.
Yeah, what's your upload schedule like, and what's your content creation process like?
Non-existent. I thought it'd be funny. I've posted a few pictures. I do it when I get bored.
There's
It's
definitely
fun.
different ways to go with it.
I agree. Is it something I could be putting more effort into? Yes. Is it something I will? Maybe.
I thought something that would be funny is like do something where it looks like somebody's fishing maybe and you have the boppers and do like a close shot on the water to where you like just see that on the way and it really looks like someone's fishing and then you can drop down and it's either like one of those GoPro views down in the bottom of a pond or you could just straight up sink that bitch into Bikini Bottom and that would be pretty funny.
I'll show them. That exists.
Yeah,
Cam
did
made
that?
that.
I did that. I did that.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
Cam made
not
that
exactly,
exact thing.
but it's very, very similar.
Yeah. That's just some things that you need to do.
Yeah, I did that and edited that whole video for him. And just sent it to him on CapCut.
Photograph the guy with the submarine. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let me see it. I just want to admire my handiwork.
Come on. Okay.
This pothole is insane, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies
Please
and
go look at
gentlemen.
this Instagram page right now so you can see how insane this thing is. I mean, honestly, truly,
It's
it's
such a fucking pothole, dude.
dude. It
crazy.
interrupts conversations. It's so bad.
This pothole, you don't understand.
Dude, the other night it sent a shot at somebody. It fucking
Yeah, it does that.
Dude, when people drive through it, there's pieces of like chip because it's not just a pothole.
It's not just
People
a pothole
stop
on the road.
and they
it's
go,
loose brick.
it's
can I
loose
make this?
brick down to a foundation.
I've seen people get to the pothole, stop, put it in reverse, and then give up.
Yeah.
People get scared. It's
I watched
tough.
a Corvette Stingray drive over it last night, and that was probably the most anxiety I've ever had.
Yeah.
Especially since I know how much those cars cost. Like that man
Yeah.
put himself in. I mean, either
He put himself in an unwinnable situation.
Well, here's the thing: is when he bought that vehicle, either it doesn't matter to him that money, or
It's everything he has.
It was pretty much everything he fucking had.
There's no in between with people who buy cars like that.
Right at $107,000 walking out the door, I would say, from my dealership. That vehicle brand new. And yeah, dude, that's just a lot of money. Especially if you finance it, the interest and shit and the monthly note on that.
Dude,
That's
interest is fucking
Fucking
crazy.
nuts.
Fucking interest.
Now,
dude.
yeah, you boys, big math boys, dude. If you want to start talking fucking real numbers, fucking monies,
Yeah.
I can talk monies all day, dude. Car deals. What's the deal with those?
Car deals?
What's
What
the
do you
deal with those?
mean? Ooh.
No, dude.
Can I have a piece of that?
Car dealership math gives
hell
people
yes.
such anxiety, including myself.
Fuck.
Because it's just like people are trying to look, because it shows you every piece of it, and people are trying to look where they're getting fucked. And then my job is to show them how they're not getting fucked and keep them away from where they are getting fucked. Because look, accept this is how people make their money selling cars. You do get fucked a little bit. Sometimes you get a really good deal. I'm not gonna lie. Like right here at the end of the year, the past couple days, you could have got like an extremely good deal. Fucked me out of a lot of money. You know what I mean? We were making whatever work because it's the end of the year. So the way dealerships works are you have to pay taxes on all your inventory that you have going into the new year. And it bases that off of your previous year and the next year, what you pay on your taxes. And so at the end of COVID a couple years ago, when their inventory was zero at the end of the year because they sold everything and because they only had like 15 vehicles, it worked out for them in a great way. But also, if you can't continue that trend, it sets you
Shareholders
back
get
in a big
angry.
way. Well, it doesn't affect me really necessarily. It affects people I love and adore, my managers and things like that. But we tried our best. I got 1.5 cars out today. It's technically 2 units, but I only got 1.5 on it. Actually, I almost got shafted today, boys. I really did almost got shafted out of my own deal.
Someone trying to undercut you?
Could have been I don't think they were trying to. I think it could have been a complete accident, but what it comes from is complete negligence and not sticking to the process. So our process when someone shows up, you say, "Hey, welcome to welcome to the dealership." That dealership name here. My name is my name's Crockett McKelvin, and your name is. Get their names, and say, "Are you here to work with anyone in particular?" You say that because people could possibly have an appointment scheduled with this person or had called and talked to them and got them to come to the dealership.
Oh.
And now, when you get someone to come to the dealership, that's a pretty exceptional feat when it comes to a car deal because that means they showed up, which means they're willing to buy.
Right.
Anybody who just shows up to a car dealership and says, "I'm just looking," and means it, is a legit crazy person, like an insane person. Like, those are the only people I've ever encountered where they, like, legit were just like, "No, I'm just looking." I'm just like, it's literally an insane person who's just looking at cars. They have
That's awesome.
Yeah. And they'll usually, like, try to, like, they'll be like, "We can do a test drive?" And like, "Yeah." He was like, "Do you have your ID?" And it's like, "No, I don't have one." Like, "Well, I can do a test drive." Like, you sit there, you waste your time with them. But anyways, that's not the point. So the point is,
It's not the point.
the point is the day
point.
the day before I had scheduled an appointment with this man. He had called me. Him and his wife had recently been in an accident. Their vehicle had been totaled. They had a Traverse, and they were looking. Or they had an Equinox as their rental car, but he said he did not like it. And they were looking to get back into a Traverse. Told me what price range they were in. Everything I knew, I got all their information, put them in the system, booked the appointment for the next day at 10:30. But I also had another customer coming in. And that person came first, so I worked my deal out with them while they were there. They needed me the whole time, so absolutely had to. And then I noticed, because what I was going to do is when that person came in, I was going to hand them to my friend because I knew he could close them, and then I'd get the half deal. Well, I noticed that, we didn't see him at all because I noticed he's not working anybody. No one said, "Hey, your other appointment's here," to me. And it's 4 hours after the appointment at this point. And so I call the number that I have, and it's the man's wife. He gave me her number to put in the system because it was going to be her that was doing the shopping. And I say, "Hey, Miss Such and Such, this is Crockett at dealership. I was just calling to see, where you were at. I know we missed our appointment today. I'm sorry about that." She's like, "Actually, I'm in the finance office right now." And I said, "Really?"
And I said, really?
And I went in there and I found out who the person was that was doing the deal with them, and I was like, "Okay." And then I found out the whole situation, and I was like, "You know what? Could have been an honest mistake." But also, you can't make that mistake in our business because even when you make that mistake, it looks bad. Now I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not mad because I don't know what happened,
Yeah.
but also like you should have definitely found out. You should always find out.
Yeah.
That's like if you were at a party with friends and all your friends brought their girlfriends, but you didn't quite know which one was which. If you started like just hitting on a girl without saying whose girlfriend are you again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're obviously here with somebody, like equal number to girls and guys at this party.
Yeah.
Terrible ratio.
Would you say that person
Terrible ratio, he said.
was at a level of like being new or incompetence that would excuse something like
No.
that?
No.
There's-
But I
Are
know
they
you
are they
spoken to them
bad at their
about it?
job? Or are they making
they're
sales by
of
doing
the
this?
used car department, Cam, and that's all I have to say about that. They're of the used car
Are
department.
you of the used
Noted.
car department?
So the used car department, so I'm in the new cars. I'm in new
Oh.
cars, but I can sell used cars, and used cars can sell new cars. You know what I mean? We work on the same lot, and we work with each other. We're in the same sales meetings and shit. There's really no difference.
Sure.
They put a lot more of their guys over there that are like really good salesmen though, because selling used cars is like you got to be able to sell anything.
Yeah.
When you just sell new cars like Chevrolets, for example, all you got to do is really learn the Chevrolets.
Yeah.
And then, a lot of it applies to all the vehicles and you know what has what and what doesn't. It's easy to work around. You show these vehicles all the time, but when you're like showing an Acura and then you're showing a Mercedes and then you're showing a Nissan and then you're showing a fucking whatever, a Range Rover, it's just like the possibilities are endless and it's hard to peg a customer down unless they have it picked out what vehicle to put them on because there's so many different options. And our lot is huge. Like there's so many, and we do have like Mercedes, Range. We have 3 Range Rovers right now. If somebody wants to buy a Range Rover, fucking hit me up, dog. We've got a badass one in right now. That bitch has got a turbo V8 in it. That bitch is bad, son. Real bad.
Real bad.
Nice on the inside. The most comfortable seat I've ever sat in my life. You're more comfortable sitting in that car than you are in this recliner. And this recliner is pretty nice. I sleep in it sometimes. I will tonight.
I will tonight.
At least for 2 hours.
Nice. You don't work tomorrow, do you?
Fuck no.
Fuck.
It is actually illegal to sell a car on a Sunday in Louisiana
Why?
That is awesome.
for a car dealership. It's law.
It's a Catholic thing.
We have all these weird religious laws still down here.
Basically Sharia around here.
I'm fine with
Yeah,
it, dude.
Sharia.
Because you know what? If you could, they would have my ass up there trying to sell a fucking car, dude. And
I believe it.
I'm glad I get a day off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
How many days do you work a week usually?
let's see, 5.
That's normal.
Yeah,
For now. We're about to go
it's
down to
5,
5
but it's every Saturday as well. Well, it's 5, but one Saturday out the month I get to have off, and I get to choose that. But also, if I have a customer that can only come in on that Saturday, and
fucked.
because like you got to sell the car because that's the only way you get paid.
Yeah.
It makes all those days that you showed up and didn't sell a car, like useless. It just puts you more negative, especially for me because I spend so much money in gas going my ass down there and shit.
Dude, sales is a wild psychological game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is, dude. Like that's why like today I couldn't let that shit go through like management and stuff without letting them know like, hey, that was my customer, my appointment, and I got put on half that deal. And someone that was part of that half deal, it got split, got cut the fuck out.
Damn.
I'll tell you that much. The person that would actually, at the beginning of the problem, had started the issue, I guess, without asking if they were here. To see
They got
someone
cut
in
out?
particular, they got cut out the deal. Yeah.
Fucking
Because the
right.
other guy worked the
As
deal.
they deserved.
Yeah, the other
they
guy worked
royally
the whole
fucked
deal,
up.
got under finance. I can't be mad at that
Yeah.
because you helped me out.
David,
but-
you ever think you're going to own a home?
Not for a while.
Yeah, it would take a minute.
Yeah. I don't think.
I don't know,
yeah,
dude.
I don't want to. I don't want to buy a house.
You could put
for a
yourself
while.
in financially crippling debt
Yeah.
and just do it though.
I mean, but to me, it's like I'm gonna buy a home when I'm ready to like settle down for a while. Like I'm gonna hop around for a bit.
Dude, I mean, I've been
True
watching
to
this
that.
podcast where a guy like talks about homes and
Yeah.
like he's a comedian, Nick Rochefort, and he just picks apart houses on Zillow because he knows how to flip houses and he like knows the
You've shown
business.
me this guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious, and it's just made me realize like the fucking crazy economics that go into it. Like when you're taking a loan on a car, that's one thing. Like a house,
Yeah.
that's a $350,000 investment. Like,
Yeah.
how are you gonna get that? How are you gonna pay that to the bank? Like, how are you gonna put more into that house and then sell it? Because it's just a house. Like it's
Yeah.
And you'll never own it.
no.
You'll
Even
never
when you
own
own
it.
it, you don't own it.
You don't own it. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
You own nothing and you'll be happy.
You will live in the pod. You will eat the bugs, and you will be happy. You will live in the pod. You will eat the bugs.
Dude,
What
I'm
is-
telling you,
yeah.
that guy
And you will
better
be
not
happy. I mean,
ever
come on.
walk within 15 feet of me.
Which
Who?
guy?
Klaus Schwab,
Who is that?
the guy who said that,
Oh, I don't.
that's a real like World Economic Forum. The guy that runs the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, he's like literally the guy who runs the world. Said, "You will own nothing and you will be happy."
You will own nothing and you will be happy. Or you will owe nothing. and you-
Own nothing. He's talking about how with big corporations buying up real estate,
Yeah.
it's becoming less and less likely for people like us to ever own homes. We will be stuck in a rent cycle forever.
Wow. Land, Miss Lane. It's the
Land.
one thing they're not making any more of.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's why Mark Zuckerberg bulldozed an entire indigenous tribe of fucking Hawaiians to
course he
build his
did.
new fucking play complex.
Yeah.
It's the new Epstein Island. That's
Oh,
what
boy.
he's building. That has to be what he's building.
Awesome.
That's the only reason he'd be
yeah.
building in like an 8-building complex.
Yeah, they were like,
What
like,
else does he-
Oh, it's
what does
gonna
he have
have
to
an
worry
other
about?
than I can think. I feel like Mark Zuckerberg's take over the world operation, or excuse me, maintain control over the world operation. Like they could find some use for 8 buildings that aren't sex trafficking. That's not to say that they wouldn't, but it's to say that maybe.
I mean, yeah, someone's got to have the parties. Someone's got to throw the parties where.
That's
I mean,
the-
it's got its own fucking airport. Like,
when anything
boy.
gets that lucrative, the sex does too. That's all I've got to say
when
about
you
that.
when you're
Profound.
when you're in a
Even
position,
those fucking
profound.
nerds that ran fucking like Sam Bankman-Fried, dude, they were all in there like jizzing all over each other fucking hard all the time on drugs and shit, dude. They were just like literally all fucking
when you're
That's,
operating at that
Wolf
level,
of Wall Street. right?
nerds.
Yeah.
Just a bunch
just
of fucking
fucking, dude. I mean, billions of dollars. That amount of money can make anyone horny.
not just billions of dollars, being one of the largest donators to one side of the political spectrum of the biggest and most fucking financially significant country in the fucking world.
Yeah, just power. Power is hot.
And the party that won.
The
He
only-
led Joe Biden to victory. That's what he needs to be in fucking jail for. Fuck for fucking stealing money from people.
dude, AI.
Why would he do that? Why not push somebody better? Sam Bankman-Fried. You ruined America.
Yeah,
You ruined America.
with your neoliberal cuckery.
Yeah. Neoliberal cuckery. I like that. I'm going to get that, no, not tattooed on me, because then that would mean...
I'm being partly facetious, but Sam. He
Oh,
had
I'm
weird
being
agendas.
all the way facetious right now.
all the way. Whoa.
I like that you called him Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah, I don't know what his name
Really
is.
getting into our psychology.
Yeah. Get
portion.
real Jungian up here.
Yeah,
No, I'm not being facetious about that. They were a bunch of nerds fucking. That's just true.
they were. Yeah,
I believe it.
dude. I mean, people fuck crazy. Like once you are at that economic level where you have every earthly desire handed to you on a silver platter, eventually for certain people it definitely goes to a dark place.
Yeah.
I mean that power is
ultimately corrupting.
Yeah, like cult leaders, everybody always comes to the conclusion it was about sex.
So
Yeah.
And maybe it was something a little more innocent at the beginning, but when you get that much power, it will turn it. Like, if you got, like, think of this, how logically you could fall into becoming a cult leader if you thought it was like this. Wow, this lady's really interested in what I'm saying right now. That's cool. Wow, this lady likes me a lot. I wonder if she wants to fuck me. Let's find out. And then she does. And then she also just thinks whatever you say is cool too. And that could also be a cult following.
Yeah. Did you hear about the cult in Kenya? When I was doing research for the Roast of 2023, I looked into this. In Kenya, a cult committed mass suicide. They all drank the Kool-Aid. It was 1,100 people.
whoa,
All committed suicide together.
whoa.
What the fuck is that? And it was
They figured it out.
It was barely in the news. I bet if I typed that on stage, no one would remember it
No,
I
I
don't-
never heard
because
of
it happened in Kenya.
I haven't even heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Why would they do such a thing?
Dude, I mean, there's a lot of warlords, and like, I mean, Africa is fucking torn apart by colonialism and like ravaged, dude.
It's a wild
I mean,
place, dude.
It's a fucking wild. I mean, there's
fucking
literally
real wild
warlords
place.
like calling themselves kings and performing coup d'états, and like half of them are supported by the U.S. government, and the other half are supported by China. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it is really nuts. I've seen videos of
I mean,
young
in the Congo?
young children in Africa, like squatting down, holding bamboo in their fucking hands like this, and talking Cantonese, saying "We are one, we are China." I've seen a video of that,
Yeah.
and that was before I
Wait,
knew
that's
anything
like
about
a-
AI.
Well, 'cause, I mean,
Flag.
China's funneling resources in. China is
That's true.
developing. Huh?
There probably is a good video of African kids saying the Pledge of Allegiance to America too, which
Yeah,
is
I mean,
nearly the same thing.
Depends on where you are. And I mean, all these factions are warring against each other. There's thousands of languages, like different languages spoken in the same countries. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy how many like clans there are.
Well, no, it's just like I was talking about it more of like maybe it was because those people probably had no intention of ever speaking Cantonese. It's probably being forced upon them due to large corporations going to Africa and exploiting it for its minerals, such as diamond and rare earth minerals to make EV batteries and cell phones.
Dude,
and
Samsung devices that
and-
get sold to America.
not to mention the small amount of media that's in that area of the world that would feel a need to say something about what's going on as far as the child and regular age people's slavery, modern day slavery that's going on in Africa all the time. And it's because, once again, it's a fucking lawless place ran by the next guy with the most guns and people, and then he's being backed up by said government, depending on who wants to run the area. You know what I mean? It's just what it is, and that sucks. You know what's crazy? You tell people, we say it so matter of fact, like we all knew that, but you tell some people that, and they're like, "What?" But even more simple shit about like how cool Napoleon was.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you see the movie?
how do you not know? I haven't.
want
I
to.
still
I
haven't,
haven't
seen
seen
it.
it either.
We should all go see it.
I'm down.
Yeah, like how do you not know the slightest bit about Napoleon? Like we all went to school together. That's where I learned about it.
Yeah, I don't know like his specific shit. Like I don't know like a lot about him, but like I know about him.
Yeah, he picked the crown up out of the gutter and put it on his head. He
Yeah, dude.
took it out the gutter with his sword. Excuse me, that's the most badass
Is that
part
like
about
for
that.
real?
That's a real quote that he said. He said, I took the crown out of the gutter with my sword and put it on my head. Meaning which he did. He saved
Badass.
France.
Yeah.
And he fucking conquered lands for France and fucking dominated. He was a pretty beast in that
He's
aspect.
badass, dude.
That's badass.
They just
Yeah.
kept kicking him out for different shit. He got kicked out several times.
Yeah, I mean he got
He got exiled and then became king again.
yeah, he had Kanye moments.
Yeah.
He had big Kanye moments.
Yeah, he's the original Donald Trump. Napoleon.
Bless you.
Not saying that he was like an all the way good guy.
No, you're chilling.
It's fun to study those people though. Let me see that mugs. Yeah. Because they did do interesting stuff that seems like all just a big fantasy story. And maybe it is a big fantasy story. Maybe I'm just
are your
loving
favorite
whitewashed
historical
storybook
figures?
history.
Ooh, my favorite historical figures. I like Mark Twain. I like. Oh yeah. What?
There's a charger in the switch.
Oh, word. I really like the Shigeru Miyamoto, who is still alive, but like I believe is like he's a
historical
He's a
figure,
historical
for sure.
figure, creator of Mario.
I really want to go back and play all the Metal Gear games in
Yeah.
order. I've never done that before. I've never played any Metal Gear game. I think it'd be really cool
I
to go
haven't
through and
either,
play
yeah.
all of them.
That's him as well.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No,
I
that
didn't
is
know
who directed Death Stranding?
Oh, that's Hideo.
Hideo Kojima.
Yeah. Kojima.
Yeah, my bad. Different person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miyamoto's Mario, right?
Yes. he
Yeah,
created Mario.
that is a crazy story we'd like to
Yeah,
see.
and he was the co-producer. Well, no, he wasn't the co-producer. He produced the Mario movie. He was the executive producer.
Yeah, I saw that movie in theaters in LA.
I saw that movie in theaters and like almost cried. I love that movie. I was a huge Mario fan as a kid. Huge. I had a Mario shrine.
I liked it because I took an edible before.
What?
I
Don't think because I'm not on the microphone you can get away with it.
Yeah, I would have let that slide. I totally it passed my radar.
Do you want him to like spank you on the ass and stuff too? What the
No,
fuck?
please, no,
a
actually, I
shrine?
had- so look. Please do tell us about your shrine.
So I had a subscription to Nintendo Power, which was the
His
monthly
OnlyFans?
No, it was the monthly magazine about like Nintendo and video games and stuff. And I also, my parents got a new refrigerator at some point, and they got this giant box. And so they had nothing to do with the box. So I ended up making it this like fort. And I put a bunch of the Mario shit on the walls. And my friends had called it, in retrospect, they called it my Mario shrine. When really it was more of a fort that was Mario themed, to be sure.
Okay.
Mario
Okay.
shit all over the place. But I would just go in there and I'd play my video games, and you
Yeah, it
know,
had
it was
four
like my little
walls.
fort.
No, we love a good dude.
4
I'm a,
walls, no doors. It's a
Yeah.
good place to jerk off.
I never did that.
I was a fort builder kid.
Yeah.
During Hurricane Katrina, we were stuck in a hotel,
Yeah.
and me and my cousins, we put a mattress over the bathtub because the parents wanted to keep us safe, and we just turned that whole room into a fort, and we would play our Game Boys.
Hell yeah.
And that was like a very fond memory.
Nice.
Yeah, getting together and playing Game Boys with the cousins is always a good time. We used to do that because every Sunday we go to still to this day we go to my grandma's house for lunch. But when we were children, it'd be all of us, and we would stay, and then we'd go to the afternoon church service with her. But between those hours of like 12 and 5:30,
Yeah.
we just fucking ran amok in the
You
wilderness.
ran
like,
amok.
yeah, dude, like a stray cat had babies in
Uh-huh.
my grandpa's shop. And so we just had like 6 new fucking kittens to just like do
Nice.
whatever. we want.
Nice.
You know what I mean? It wasn't
Rub your
like
balls on them.
it was. I was about to say it wasn't gonna be like it wasn't like, oh, we need to take care of these kittens. The way my family looked at it is like these are old barn kittens, and it's pretty much just like a toy for these kids to
Aw.
play with.
Did they live?
We didn't kill we didn't kill personally any of them, but they had like a German Shepherd and shit like that. He would get a lot. Yeah, he would get,
Grab one
he
and
would
fucking
fucking
crash.
he would turn them
Oh
into
my
ground beef.
god.
It was some of them. He kind of like it wasn't even like that really. You just kind of stomp them out on accident.
Jesus.
You know what I
Oh,
mean? They're just
no.
little guys.
Oh man.
Just crush its little head. Oh no!
Stop. Oh.
Have you seen the videos of like the horse eating a baby chick?
No, I
there's
haven't.
like a chicken, and there's a bunch of like babies running around the chicken, and there's a horse, and the horse is like sniffing on one of them, and it's being real sweet, and it's like, oh, what's this? And they're like, oh, the horse likes the chickens, and then it just he eats it.
Ate that bitch,
Wild.
son.
Just ate that bitch. One bite.
Hey, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Hey,
N-
that's a nugget if I've ever
It's a
seen
no
one.
chew swallow.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, how does a horse eat?
Y'all
like,
seen Nope?
They don't die right away. It's a yeah. I've seen no. It's a lot.
have
like
you
that.
ever have you ever seen or experienced a horse bite?
Dude, they hurt.
Yeah.
They're bad.
They're like a real horse
That
bite,
was the
not
thing,
like
yeah.
not
Well,
like your
their
uncle.
their teeth are made for like picking off plants, so it like pinches real hard.
Yeah.
That's we would in my family. You know, we'd fuck with each other, and you get a horse bite. You smack and you like grasp down immediately at the same.
Yeah, I know about the horse
As hard
bite and
as you can.
pumpkin. But
What?
I'm talking about like a real bite.
Like
from
a bite
real
from a
horse.
real
Yeah.
ass. Like
Yeah,
a donkey
yeah, yeah,
bite.
yeah.
Like it leaves like a blood blister. Like big like it can even
they
cut
ch-
skin.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
break
They, like-
skin.
Yeah.
Depends on how bad they get you. Yeah, dude, it fucking pinches the shit out of you. Remember,
But
did
they
you ever
can't, like,
play
bite your arm off.
did you ever play
can bite
with
a
those
finger
like
off.
wooden
Finger
block?
off?
Oh, they can bite your fucking
They can bite.
they're at least gonna
They
break
can bite
that
several
motherfucker.
fingers
It's
off.
gonna break that motherfucker at least, dude. Your hand is so easy to break. That's fucking easy to do. The only reason you don't do it is because you don't let yourself do it.
Yeah.
You
Use-
could break
use
that
digits
all
maybe.
the time. You
Yeah.
could break your think about that. Like anytime you've ever just like punched something out of like dumb teenage anger, like and you felt it in your hand, you saw what it did to your hand, you're like, okay, I know I held back on that a little because I didn't just 100% fucking clip my fucking
Yeah.
wall or whatever the fuck it was, but it fucking demolished my hand. Plus, they say like biting through your hand, you can or biting through your finger, you can do that as easy
I
as
don't
biting
believe
into
that
a
at all.
carrot. Your
Oh, it's a
mind just
carrot.
won't let you go past
I
it.
believe it. I so believe it.
I stopped because it hurt.
Ah, see,
Yeah,
yeah.
stops
I
when
stopped
it hurts.
right there, dude. I think I could have got it that time too. Honestly, that would be nuts.
have to
Just
be-
to
You have
fucking
to get to
bite
that.
your
Well,
finger
to
off.
bite your own finger off, you really have to like David Blaine that shit. You have to get to that point mentally,
Yeah.
and then like get to that point where you're powering through. I would love to see David Blaine bite his own finger off. That seems like some shit he'd do, just to prove he can.
Did y'all watch Sons of Anarchy?
No, I
No.
did not.
No. Okay. I want to show y'all this scene,
All
just
right.
to show you this scene, and
This will
this
probably be the last thing we do.
this is what we'll do to wrap it up.
I love good dead air.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're gonna cut all
nothing
this
like
out.
No.
We've got all this good AI that can help us edit
it's
all
nuts.
this. This guy's being interviewed by a 3-letter agency. He's part of a motorcycle gang, but he's been in prison for a really long time. And they're blackmailing him currently with saying that his motorcycle gang had a responsibility or something to do with his wife's murder, his wife's recent murder. And so now they're cross-examining him, and he's said that he was going to give them a testimony at this date, and his name is Otto.
Is that Stanley Tucci? Who is that?
No, that's the guy who actually wrote Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, word.
Created it, Otto.
God damn,
That's crazy.
that was fucking nuts, dude.
That's wild.
Have you seen Old Boy?
Such a good
I
show.
have. Well, I've seen half of it, I think.
Oh, then you haven't seen Old Boy.
I've seen. Yeah.
The first half?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you haven't seen Old Boy.
I got to.
The entirety of Old Boy, like the entire movie, is the last 5 minutes of the
Well,
movie. It changes everything. It's
actually,
really
no one part of the movie is more movie than
no.
another part of the movie.
Old Boy is
Such
Kino.
is the way of the universe.
Old Boy is Kino.
That's not true.
You know.
Kino is the Russian word for film. Like, is the Russian word for like, or the first people to experiment with film called it like the camera. They called it the Kino eye.
Uh-huh.
And now fucking internet nerds call if a movie's really good, they call it
Cinema.
kino.
It's like cinema.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, I
word
was
for
about to
cinema.
say kino means theater or cinema because they have the zombies map on Call of Duty called Kino der Toten, which is theater of the dead.
Yeah.
Or cinema of the dead.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's a map through a big movie plaza or whatever it is, a cinema. A cinema. That's what it's called.
My dumb ass remembered the word kino, but not the word for cinema.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all it is. You know?
That's all it is.
Fun map too. Did y'all ever have some late nights playing zombies with the boys?
I have had a couple. I've not played a lot of zombies at all. Like, I've only ever played it when other people played it.
Oh yeah, it's fun to get like a LAN party going, like when you're in the same house.
Dude, I would be so down to do that here.
Dude,
like a
it's
LAN
super
party.
fun.
I never played like the violent video because I was the oldest. I wasn't allowed to play violent video games in the living room in front of anybody else.
I was never allowed to
That's
play
why I
Call of
was
Duty
super into
going
Mario.
up.
So, yeah.
That's why I love gun game, because I would go to my friend's house and we would just play gun game on Modern Warfare or whatever game it was that had gun game.
My parents were more like,
We would play on the boat.
we brought your younger brother this really violent video game. You have to share it with him though. Okay. You share. Get right, dude. It's a video game and I'm 5 years older than him. That's mine.
I'll ask y'all this. Y'all think y'all are gonna get GTA 6?
I don't think so. No.
I think I'm going to purchase a whole console just to play it. I don't have a console currently, but I think I'm going to purchase a PlayStation 5 just to play GTA 6.
Dude, it's going on that PC right there.
It's going to be fire. You're not excited to be Florida
ready.
man, David? Did you ever play GTA?
No, I never did.
I've never played a GTA either.
What about Red
I've
Dead
played it on other
Redemption?
people's games,
I
but
haven't.
it just
no.
looks so good.
I haven't played like. I haven't played a lot of video games.
So you've played no Rockstar video games.
No.
Possibly the best company to ever make video games ever.
Mm,
You've
played
played none
Skyrim?
of them.
no. No.
We're gonna start a streaming channel.
Yeah.
We're gonna start streaming on Twitch, and we're gonna show you all these video games.
Yeah, I want to play BioShock.
I was thinking
BioShock is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
what would be fun
I
is
think
like
I have
a
it, I'm not
a
sure.
back of the head stream where it's like a shot. Like if we're all in here like playing on a LAN party.
Yeah.
To where it's like up in the sky, kind of like how the fish tank views are sometimes.
Yeah.
And then we could just lock in on like playing with the bros or whatever instead of really fucking. I mean, we can have a microphone in front of us, but instead of like, I don't know, I think it would take away some kind of anxiety of the stream. Because I get that a lot with like live streams. I feel like everybody does. It's like we kind of like, okay, this is live. You got to really watch what you say. But you'll already do that if you kind of know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Plus, if it's on Twitch or something, it's not
We're-
like you're on your Facebook Live or anything. But we'll work it out.
Yeah, we'll work it out. We're being boring right now. Dave, do you have anything left to say? Like, do you have any reviews, any feedback for us as podcast hosts?
No, I've had fun. It's been fun going all over the place.
Yeah. We've done about 4 hours worth of podcasting, and only whatever this is
Yeah.
been used.
Wait, what time is it?
It's like 2 a.m.
It's 2 a.m. Huh, that's
Let's
not
see how much
bad.
time we've done.
Last thing I'll say, buy my book, watch my movie. I got a lot of new cool shit coming out this year. Doing a lot of fun stuff.
Oh, and he's a regular on Open Mic from Hell.
And
that
catch
too.
me. So buy my book, watch my movie, catch my comedy every Monday.
Monday at 8 o'clock.
Monday at 8
Open Mic
o'clock.
from Hell. Comedy
Open
House.
Mic
No,
from Hell.
we're going to have to teach you how to plug your dates on a podcast, David. That's fine, though.
Dude, I got like 9 or 10 shows coming up in January. So that's big for me personally.
Follow him on Real D Culotta on
Yeah,
Instagram.
the real D Culotta.
The Real D Culotta on Instagram. You'll
Yep.
get all those dates,
And
I
everywhere
promise.
else,
And
too.
so much more.
Yeah.
Thank you very much and have a good afternoon,
Thanks,
ladies
guys.
and gentlemen.